How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another Wakai Comic production. Today we're bringing you something that's pretty near and dear to my heart. We're going to be bringing you a Dragon Ball Super review, and in particular we're going to be reviewing Dragon Ball Super episode 88, Gohan and Piccolo, Master and Disciple, Trained to the Limit. Now, with this episode, I just got to tell you off the bat, man, I was so hyped. I was so hyped to see this episode, man, because I'm a big Gohan fan. And I'm also a big Piccolo fan, and to see them together in an episode is always going to be a plus for me. Not to mention doing the whole master-student dynamic. I love it. I love it. I love those type of things, doing the whole Miyagi thing, you know, Piccolo getting his master on, you know, the Karate Kid, you know, Gohan trying to learn how to basically tap back in to that old power, to that old savage Gohan that we saw against Super Buu back in the day. We want to see that again. And if you all are a fan of Gohan and a fan of Piccolo, let me just tell you, this is gonna be an episode that you guys are gonna adore. So, needless to say, I love the episode. So we're gonna talk about some things. Actually, before we jump into the review, I'm just gonna talk about some things in Dragon Ball Super in general that I've just been on my mind, and I'd like to get them off my mind, you know, before we actually go into the actual breakdown of the episode. One of the things is the power scaling. Now, with Dragon Ball Super, the power scaling's been weird, man, since the show's been going on, since the anime's been going on, man. Like, it's a really, really weird power scale. Like, you know, 17 has recently matched, we won't say he matched Goku Super Saiyan Blue, but for him to even be able to throw hands with Goku Super Saiyan Blue is, in my opinion, pretty astounding. It's pretty cool to know that 17 is that strong to the point where Goku thought it necessary to skip past the yellow Super Saiyan variants and go straight to blue. That means something. That has an underlying meaning. So the scaling, I mean, you could look at 17, you could look at Krillin, you know, you can look at whoever you want to look at for any reason, but they have all grown exponentially in strength. You know, even Majin Buu, in my opinion, for Majin Buu to be able to match a base Goku, I mean, that's a lot at this point in time if you really want to consider how strong base Goku should be at this point. So everybody in their own way has risen, you know, up to points that I wouldn't think would be possible, especially with the androids who were, you know, after Super Saiyan was mastered, you know, and Cell was the real threat. They were fodder, you know, the androids were nothing. So, you know, for 17 to step up like he does, and for Krillin to step up, I mean, for Krillin to be able to even fight with Goku and Gohan, in my opinion, at this point in time, is just amazing, and it's a commendable thing for him. So that's with the scaling, you know, it has me thinking, it has me, you know, I'm not angry about it or anything like that. Everybody has to catch up eventually, but you know, the scaling's a little weird. I won't really call it a complaint. But the fights have practically made up for it, if you want to be 100% honest. If you want me to be honest, the fights are fantastic. Every fight that I look forward to seeing, every fight with Goku trying to test out everybody, or you know, just seeing, like we saw today, Gohan and Piccolo training. All these fights are fantastic, and they're great build-ups to the actual fights that we're going to get in the Tournament of Power. Now let's just go over a synopsis, I guess, of the episode and basically what happened. The main plot line of the story, Gohan has to get stronger. Plain and simple, you know. Goku, he talks to Piccolo at the beginning of the episode, and he says, you know, like, hey, you know, Gohan did well and everything like that, but we know that Gohan was way stronger back in the day. We need to figure out how to get that power out. And he goes to ask Piccolo, and I think it's a good move because Piccolo has been Gohan's master forever. Goku was never really Gohan's master until they went into the hyperbolic time chamber. And really, you can look at that in other ways. You know, you can look at that as he was just pulling the transformation out more so than being his master. I've always considered Piccolo really to be his master. But another thing that happened beside Gohan, you know, trying to tap into his old potential is Kaba. We actually caught up with Kaba again, which is pretty cool because I love Kaba, dude. I think he's a really cool character, and to see a Saiyan from a different universe, you know, that has a completely different story than the Saiyans that we know that use the bloodthirsty, you know, pirate Saiyans that work for Frieza and everything. We get to see these actual cool the Saiyans that, you know, they fight for good, and Kaba, especially Super Saiyan Kaba, you know, being the only Saiyan, I would presume, besides the girl Broly Saiyan, which we'll be getting to in a minute, but the only Saiyan that I would think that would, from his universe, that would have the Super Saiyan power up at this point in time. And I think that's just really cool. I'm a big Kaba fan, and to get to see him again was awesome. Now, speaking of female Broly, we actually got to figure out what her name is this time around. So Kaba goes to go talk to the old leader of his squad, and he has a leg injury, so therefore he cannot fight, which was Cabba's request, was originally for him to come fight in the Tournament of Power. He refers him, after unfortunately turning him down, refers him to his sister, whose name is now Cauliflower, which is cool. Like, it's a funny little pun on, you know, you got Broly, who's broccoli, and then you got the female version of Broly, it's Cauliflower. Clever, you know, it's funny. They always got really, really good puns for the names of the characters, and you know, Cauliflower, that's a knockout. That's a hit out the park. You know, I really do like that, and I'm so excited to see her now that we've actually seen her character in the actual anime. Now we know that she's there. Now the build up has started, and I cannot wait to see her actually fight and see what her moveset is, and just see what type of person, what type of personality that she has. Very excited, very, very exciting stuff with Cabba, and you know, however you want to pronounce it, and his recruitment of Cauliflower. Now, another thing that also happened that was pretty interesting in my opinion is just Piccolo in general, man. Piccolo was awesome. His teacher dynamic that he took on with Gohan, and how he just kept it straight with him. He was like, look, man, you're too arrogant. You know what I mean? You let that power go to your mind too much, to the point where you're not even focusing in these fights anymore, and you're kind of looking silly. And he did his part to make Gohan look silly. He beat the hell out of that man. He beat Gohan down in the initial parts of the fight, and we'll get back to that in a minute. But another cool thing that happened really was Krillin versus 18. We got to see Krillin fight 18. And I mean, it was a quick little, you know, sparring session. It just shows that they're training and they are taking the tournament seriously. And it also shows to me that 18 still has the upper hand on Krillin. And that, you know, that just shoots back to the power scale. And like, we don't know where the power scaling is at this point, really. I mean, let's be honest. If Krillin loses to Android 18, you know, but Android 18, if Android 17, excuse me, can compare to Goku, but also Goku goes blue and clashes Kamehameha Wave with Krillin, you know, it's just, where is the power, where are the lines drawn? You know, that's just what I'm curious about, but we'll see as it goes on. I don't mind everybody being in kind of a relative power pool, just we have to know where the lines are drawn and who's stronger and who's not. We need tiers, you know, and it's just getting a little bit confusing. But we also get a funny moment, you know, with Vegeta changing Bulla's diaper and being really, really good at it. Trunks and Goten just don't know what to do, and Bulma's just chopping it up on the phone. You know, she doesn't really care. She's rich. Why would you care about your baby? You know, it's going to be handled when you're rich. So Vegeta actually goes over there and handles it like a boss, and that was really, really cool. But ultimately, man, the return of Mystic Gohan happens once Piccolo gets through to Gohan, and he gets through to Gohan by letting him know, man, you have to fight every fight and respect it. You can't be arrogant and, you know, just hold back. You have to treat every fight like a warrior, is what he says. You have to become a warrior and fight every fight to its fullest and most serious. And Piccolo, man, he's hitting all the right spots, man. He's hitting all the right spots, and he shows that he's a great master and he's a great warrior. And I am such a Piccolo fan, and this just boosted Piccolo and Gohan, because we get to see Mystic Gohan at the end return. And let me tell you, man, I almost welled up a little bit when we saw Mystic Gohan back, man, because it's been a while. But you know, at the end, you know, we get to see Yamcha, and we laugh at him, and that was hilarious too. We got to see Yamcha basically practicing his speech to turn down Goku, like anybody's gonna show up to ask him to fight in the Tournament of Power. I mean, he's in the scrub zone, you know, he's delirious. And you know, I'm just hyped, man. I'm really hyped to see Gohan and Piccolo's combination attacks that they're gonna do at the tournament. I'm just really want to see Ultimate Gohan just whoop ass, you know what I mean? I want to see that, and Piccolo looks really, really strong too. I'm really looking forward to this. I really am. The Tournament of Power has got me super duper hype. It really does, man. Everybody is showing up, and everybody is bringing something new to the table. And with Gohan and Piccolo together doing combination techniques at their best, man, oh man, we're gonna get to see some really, really, really cool stuff from them. I mean, everybody, you know, everybody come. I'm most eager in the Tournament of Power really to see how people fight together. We haven't got to see that too much, and we'll get to see people doing combination attacks and get to fight together, and it's just gonna, I'm predicting it's gonna blow us away. I hope it does. This entire arc has blown me away, but I just predict it getting better and better until we get to the climax, which will be the tournament. But next week we have Tien, and we get to see what's going on at his dojo, which looks fantastic, and Master Roshi's whooping ass. So, you know, tune in next time. Thank you.